It all started with a faint, rhythmic tapping. Julia, a young woman who had just moved into her grandmother's old house, assumed it was the wind. But the sound was persistent. It echoed faintly from the basement, a place her grandmother had warned her to avoid. Old houses make strange noises, Julia muttered to herself, but her curiosity got the better of her. With a flashlight in hand, she descended the narrow wooden stairs, each creak amplified in the eerie silence. The basement was cold and smelled of mildew. Shadows danced across the stone walls as her flashlight trembled in her hand. The tapping grew louder, coming from an old, rusted door at the far end of the room. Julia's heart raced. She remembered her grandmother's stern warning, "Never open that door, Julia. Never." But the tapping was almost hypnotic, like it was calling her. Against her better judgment, she approached the door. Scratched into the wood were the words, "Don't let it out." "Hello?" Julia whispered, her voice quivering. The tapping stopped. Then came a faint voice, hoarse and desperate. "Help me, please." Julia hesitated. "Who's there?" "Please," the voice begged. "I've been trapped here for so long. Let me out." Her fingers brushed against the cold iron latch. She hesitated, recalling her grandmother's warning, but the voice sounded so human, so real. "Just for a moment," she muttered, lifting the latch. The door burst open with a force that knocked her to the ground. The flashlight rolled away, casting erratic beams across the room. From the darkness behind the door emerged a figure, twisted, tall, and impossibly thin. Its hollow eyes glowed with a sinister light, and its jagged teeth spread into a grotesque grin. "You, let me out," it hissed, its voice now deep and guttural. Julia scrambled backward, but the creature moved unnaturally fast, its long limbs folding and unfolding like a spider's. "You'll take my place," it snarled. With a flick of its clawed hand, darkness enveloped her. When Julia opened her eyes, she was behind the door. Cold. Alone. Her screams echoed in the void, unheard. Above, in the basement, the creature stood in her place, smiling. It listened as faint, rhythmic tapping began again, this time, from the other side of the door.